Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. It's a fine morning here. I'm going to bring you more news. I'm doing a follow-up on Kwabena Yeboah's comments on Kevin Prince Boateng returning to the Black Stars. Kwabena Yeboah explained why he made those comments at the launch of the Swag Awards. The Swag Awards is an annual awards in recognition of the great sportsmen in Ghana here, across the country in the past year. So the Swag Awards was launched yesterday, and Kwabena Yeboah was asked why he made those comments concerning Kevin Prince Boateng, why he's vehemently against Kevin Prince Boateng joining the Black Stars. He explained his reasons. He also talked about Ghana's chances in the AFCON 2019, where how far he thinks we can go, whether he thinks we can win it, and our chances of winning the tournament, and a whole lot more. I'm also going to bring you news on the African Cup of Nations date that has been shifted. The real reason for the shift has been made known to us, and we'll look at it and we'll talk about it. So if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to get more updates. I'm your host as usual, Selassie Fiawe. So let me just get right into it. We all know yesterday Kwabena Yeboah, I brought you a story on him. If you didn't watch it, it's up here. Kwabena Yeboah said that Ghana should not call Kevin Prince Boateng back. He was vehemently against it, and many of you were not in agreement with him. You felt everybody makes mistakes. Kwabena Yeboah should let bygones be bygones and call the guy back into the squad. All those things are in the past. You don't know why he's so keen on holding this still against Kevin Prince Boateng and all those stuff. I was also kind of bothered by the back. Kwabena Yeboah, the launch of the Swag Awards yesterday, the Swag Awards, as I told you earlier on, is the recognition of the best sportsmen in the country over the past year. At the launch of the Swag Awards, after the ceremony, he was interviewed by some journalists and asked why he made those comments about Kevin Prince Boateng, and why he is vehemently against Kevin Prince Boateng rejoining the Black Stars. He said Prince Boateng has an entitlement mentality, and also he doesn't feel Kevin Prince Boateng will apologize. He also said that if he was a coach, he would not allow Kevin Prince Boateng to ever come back. I think these comments will go a long way in not making Kevin Prince Boateng come back, because if an ace journalist like Kwabena Yeboah is saying this, it means that if Kwesi Appiah introduces Kevin Prince Boateng back into the squad, it would be sort of like saying that Kwesi Appiah is not, excuse me to say, sensible, because Kwabena Yeboah is saying that he would not allow him into the squad. But let's have a listen to why Kwabena Yeboah, his explanation for making those comments against Kevin Prince Boateng. Let's have a listen to Kwabena Yeboah here.
I remember when he played for Portsmouth, when he had never played for us, and Portsmouth were relegated and was struggling for a team. Those were the days he took the initiative and was literally begging us to come and play for us. And of course, he's a huge talent. There's no question about that. His confidence level is extraordinary. He's an extraordinary performer. There's no question about that. Fortunately, we satisfy the statutes and enrolled him. We went to South Africa, and I must say that if we went far in that competition, I think Kevin was one of the reasons. Because in South Africa, for me, he was incredible. All the players excelled, but I thought that he brought some magic, particularly in midfield. And his confidence level and the extent to which he edged the players was extraordinary. After that, he became a global icon. Before that, yes, he was an international figure, but he wasn't a global icon. The world stage gave him that exposure that he needed, and all the teams started chasing him, and he had a major breakthrough from Portsmouth to AC Milan, where he also won and excelled. And it really hurt me that having been given that opportunity and having had that breakthrough, Kevin would turn his back on us for 4 years until we qualified for the Cup of Nations again. And again, he proved very opportunistic and came on board again. We went to Brazil. We all know what happened in Brazil. So this time around, playing for one of the best teams around the world, Barcelona, I personally do not think that Kevin would apologize to us to come and play in the Africa Cup of Nations on African soil in Egypt. I do not know for what purpose. You know, I mean, he has very little to gain. And that is why I do not think that we should spend too much time on emphasizing his inclusion in the team. The national team is for individuals and performers who want to don a national jersey. It must be played out of a sense of pride, out of a sense of nationalism and patriotism. Having grown up through the decades, the footballers I met growing up all played out of a true sense of nationalism. The likes of the films, you were so young in the 50s and 60s, the Kofi Paris, you know, coming forward to the days of the Adat Tenchehinis and the Mohamed Polos, you know, to the days of the Pokuntis and the Peles. The national team is always for people who are passionate about the national cause.
Yeah, so you guys heard Kwabena Yeboah there. He said, after the 2010 World Cup, that's the part I picked. After the 2010 World Cup, it's like Kevin Prince Boateng turned his back on us. And 4 years later, when we qualified for the World Cup, he came back and wanted to join us for the World Cup. And he joined us, and we all know what happened in Brazil. I think this guy is really hurt by that. 4 years out and then coming back for the AFCON, for the World Cup, the following World Cup. I think he has a point, guys. I think he has a point. Kevin Prince Boateng proved opportunistic, and after 4 years of, how can you leave the national team for 4 years and come back when they are going for the World Cup? I don't know. I never really thought of it like this, guys. I really, after listening to this, I think Kwabena Yeboah has a point. I have to admit he has a point. I have to really admit that he has a point. He has a point there, and we all know we should let bygones be bygones. We shouldn't really hold grudges, but it really hurts about Kevin Prince Boateng, what he did there. 4 years out of the national team after the World Cup. We were evicted from the World Cup. He's a great player. He explained that he's a great player, but the national team of Ghana helped him become a global icon, and him a move from Portsmouth, relegated Portsmouth, to AC Milan, where he won the Scudetto. I think Kevin Prince Boateng owes Ghana a lot. Yeah, Ghana has really helped him, though some of you may not agree with me. Ghana has really helped him, and I don't know, guys. I'm really thinking about things all over again, and what Kwabena Yeboah just said there really has made me think further again. I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Kwabena Yeboah said you have to be passionate about the national team. I think he's an experienced fellow. He knows about the history of all the players who have played in the national team and so many other stuff. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys still side with Kevin Prince Boateng? Should bygones be bygones? Well, I am in favor of letting things go and calling him back into the squad. But after listening to this, I'm caught in two minds, guys. I'm caught in two minds. And he also said Kevin Prince Boateng will not apologize. He feels he will not apologize for all this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Now, Sales, sticking with Kwabena Yeboah, he also spoke about Ghana's chances for the AFCON 2019. Whether Ghana can win it, how far he thinks we can go, and all that. Let's have a listen to Kwabena Yeboah yet again on Ghana's chances of winning the AFCON 2019.
Well, you and I know that there are going to be 24 countries that are going to compete in AFCON, and I think that sometimes we tend to be a little presumptuous, if I have to be blunt, sometimes arrogant, to suggest that once Ghana is participating, we have a birthright to go and win the trophy. It is my sincere and candid wish and hope that we would win the trophy, because I think that there is one trophy that has eluded us for a very long time. It has to be with the Africa Cup of Nations. It's so funny, isn't it? Because years back, when we had won it 4 times and we had never participated in the World Cup, the cry in this country was that we were fed up with the Cup of Nations and that we needed to participate in the World Cup. Thank God, on 3 different occasions we participated in the World Cup. I think we're back to square one, where a number of Ghanaians believe that it's time for us to assert our authority on the African continent by winning the Africa Cup of Nations. It's getting more difficult by the year, you know. So I do not think that it's going to be that easy. I do not think that we can boast of having a team that is so extraordinary for us to put our hands on our chest to say we're definitely going to win the Africa Cup of Nations. It is something that I don't believe. That is not to say that these boys cannot go and win. But that element of unpredictability is saying that it's very, very difficult, really suggesting that a particular country is going to win the Cup of Nations. I do not think that any connoisseur of African football, as we stand, can boldly predict that country A is definitely going to win the AFCON. I don't think so. When Zambia won the Africa Cup, the AFCON, I do not think that many of the pundits believe that they're going to win. That year they won, having come from that disaster. Again, when Nigeria won the AFCON, how many of the pundits believe that Nigeria are going to win the AFCON? Because it was after a number of years that they had even failed to qualify for the AFCON itself until Stephen Keshi took over. And the year they won the AFCON, if you remember, he had dropped a number of the high-profile players, or the wing immediately comes to mind, and introduced some of the local boys. Sunday Bab comes to mind immediately, and they won the cup. So it is not very, very easy to suggest that once you participate, you're going to win. There are 24 very credible countries from across the African continent, and I do not think that we can say that once we participate, we're definitely going to win. I'll be very excited if we win, but hey, I do not think that I can boldly predict that we're going to win.
Yes, Kwabena Yeboah there, he's saying that after a while of us winning, we're winning the AFCON 4 times and participating in it so much. People got tired of that and wanted us to qualify for the World Cup. We eventually went to the World Cup, and now people want us to win the AFCON. We 3 times went to the World Cup, and now people want us to win the AFCON 2019. And because it's been a long while, 1982, over 35 years, guys. It's been too long. Over 35 years not winning the AFCON trophy. It's really, really long, and he feels that no one can surely say that Ghana will win it, Ghana will not win it, Ghana will win it, or anything like that. No one can surely say that. But no one has been able to predict the winner before in previous occasions. No one was able to say that Zambia would win it. No one was able to say that Nigeria will win it. So yeah, we have a chance of winning it. It depends on how we do well, how we do in the tournament, how we play on the day. That's what's the most important thing, because every team in that tournament has a chance of winning it realistically. Every team there has a chance of winning the AFCON 2019, and he will not rule Ghana out of it. We are still in it. And let me know your thoughts on the AFCON 2019. How far do you think Ghana can go in this AFCON after listening to what Kwabena Yeboah said over there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box, guys. So I'll move to my next story, and it has to do with the AFCON 2019 actually. Now, yesterday I brought you a story. If you followed it, CAF had shifted the date for the commencement of the AFCON 2019. It has shifted it from 15 June to 21st July. And the reason for that change has been revealed here. The African Cup of Nations has been delayed to allow players to rest after the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The 4-week-long event will kick off on the 21st of June 2019 with the final set for 19th of July instead of 15th to 13th July. Now, the change was announced by tournament director and former Egyptian international Mohamed Fadi. This is what he said. The decision was taken following the request from Morocco, Tunisia and Algeria, who want their players to have time to rest after Ramadan, he said. The Confederation of African Football has also confirmed the draw for the final will be held on the 12th of April, as I told you yesterday. Ramadan, when Muslims abstain from food and water from sunrise to sunset, is due to start at the beginning of May until the end of June. The 2019 African Cup of Nations will, for the first time this year, take place in the summer and feature 24 teams rather than the regular 16. Now, Egypt were chosen to host the tournament to replace Cameroon, who were stripped of the hosting rights due to their slow preparations and security concerns by CAF. I've really talked extensively on that on this channel. So that is it. The AFCON 2019 will be delayed. There will be a delayed start because of players who have to rest, especially the Muslim players who have to rest after the Ramadan fasting. That the 1-week rest before the tournament starts, and it's upon the request of them. So I think this is fair enough. Yeah, after fasting for a whole month, I think a week's rest will be okay for them. to get back on their feet and participate well in this tournament. So that has been it, guys. I've been bringing you news. Kwabena Yeboah explaining why he made those comments against Kevin Prince-Boateng to rejoin the Black Stars. What do you think about it after his explanation on why he said we should close the door on opportunistic Kevin Prince-Boateng? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. And AFCON 2019, do you think it's fair enough for them to push the date for the Ramadan fast? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. That has been it for today, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.